There we go. All right, welcome everybody. It is 11 o'clock, spot on. We're going to get ready and get started with our weekly updates coming out of True Payroll. And oh, see, I forgot to share the sound again, Anthony, because you never end up hearing the little as it's doing all that stuff.
Right, that's right.
So not a whole lot of nothing going on this past week. So there was a lot on the side of wholesale payroll and developers and whatnot. And I saw some, I did get to see, but I don't have it to show. I just thought this was a funny picture, so I thought I'd put it in. The wiring up of the onboarding process for employees to fill out their W-4s. So that was really quite cool to see. No, gone will be the days of having to do it via paper or sending to us or anything. It'll be stored there when they go through. Once they put in their address, it'll pop up and populate what forms they need based on work location, company location, and personal address. So very cool stuff. Yeah. And for those that do remote working, then that will potentially create some additional challenge insofar as whether or not they need to open their business or register their business in a different state. Technically, there could be some reasons why it needs to happen and reasons why it doesn't need to happen, which is got to go back to your tax professional or your accountant to really unravel that. And of course, they can ask us. However, we're always going to default to the paid tax professional or whatever on that side of it, because we don't see all of the other workings of a company. Other than that, that's it. It's going to be a kind of a short one. We, yeah. Have you thought of anything?
I do. In fact,
cool.
Spawned by a recent hire to our business. So I wanted to, because you don't hire people every day in smaller companies, I just wanted to go over there are two things that seem to work done, or either gets done by you guys or we have to do. And I just wanted to clarify because I don't have the experience. The I-9 and the new payroll hire forms, I think gets sent into the Florida government, the new hire form, which is done into it or through the payroll system, and the I-9. I want to talk about those and find out what done or processes and make sure we do it right. That's my question of the day.
Yeah, great question. And ultimately, when you hire an employee in the United States, and it will essentially be the same, there could be some additional forms in various states where Florida, where we're located and you're located, we don't have some of these other ones. So the W-4, that's not something the payroll company, any payroll company actually needs. The employer needs it, and the employer needs to have it in the event of a labor audit or a Homeland Security or one of those types of agencies checking over labor laws. Is this person qualified to actually work for your company? So the W-4 and the I-9, those are not forms that go anywhere other than your employee file for you as the employer. And that's so that you can prove to any agency, alphabet soup people, that would come in and go, Joe over here, let me see his file so that I can make sure that he's eligible to be working in the United States and for you. The W-4 and the I-9 with their social security card, driver's license, passport, whatever ID. So the I-9 has the three different columns. You either have to have something from column A, and a passport is in there, or one of each of something from column B and C. And I want to say it's on the back side or the third page of the actual, when you fill it out. The first 7 or 8 pages of an I-9 are lots of instructions, lots of discussion, most of which is, I know I've read it once or twice years and years ago, and now I just know I need to have that with the documents in the file. And so when it comes to what we're going to deploy, in the case of the current system, the I-9 is, you can print an I-9. It used to actually drop in the employee's information. It no longer does that. for whatever reason. And when we move forward, the I-9 will be electronically signed by your employees so that the copy will always be, there'll always be one that resides for you. You can either decide to print it out or just leave it electronically.
Oh, okay. So that's
same with
a
the
nice little
W-4.
improvement. Okay, so those two
yeah.
documents will be elected through the wholesale payroll program once
Correct.
you get that up and running. Right
Yep.
now, we still have to do it on a paper
By
basis
paper.
with Intuit.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, well, and all you're going to be able to get is a blank paper copy of it. You won't get
Right. Right.
won't fill it in. So
Right.
then the new hire form, we do those every 2 weeks. We're going through all clients right now and remitting those for you. So those are always available to you right now online through the platform. And again, that'll actually be an automated process when you bring somebody on and they receive their first paycheck. When they receive their first paycheck, it triggers the new hire to get sent to the state.
And that gets sent, that's just a Florida thing, I understand. Is that just a
It's all
state
50
thing?
states. Yeah.
All
It's
50
all
states,
50
but it's controlled by state then.
Correct.
And so state knows that you have hired somebody. Okay. Is there any reason why they
Yes.
want that information? Is there?
It's the government, Anthony. They want everything.
Yeah, I realize that.
Right.
There was a specific reason why they wanted that.
Theoretically,
because-
yeah, there is. And theoretically, it's to help with unemployment and tracking employment trends. It's
Right.
but definitely on the other side of the unemployment. So if somebody is getting
All
paid
right.
and the new form comes in, then they can cross-reference those things and say, okay, time to get this thing
Right.
stopped because they're hired again.
Right. And
That's
that gives
one
them-
application of it. Yeah. But technically, I really think it's more for the tracking of information than it is anything else.
Okay. And it gives them, I guess it gives them hiring statistics too, right?
It does.
So they know how many employed per week in the state. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yep.
very helpful. And that gets done. And I assume that'll be done automatically in wholesale. Yeah.
Automatically. Yep. It's at the date of the first paycheck. So it's
On the
not
first-
technically due until they are, so you could hire somebody in, say, August. You could even onboard them, but if they never start, well, they're never really a hire. So it's kind of
Correct.
the triggering event is that first paycheck. So when that happens, off it goes.
Right. So you could send up as many dummy people payroll, but it's not going to do anything until you pay them something. Okay.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yep. And then here in
That's very
Florida,
helpful.
there really isn't a whole lot more that you are required to maintain. What I would tell you is, if you guys don't, is have an HR employee handbook. And if you don't have somebody that is familiar with that, of course, and then the onboarding process, whatever you're going to use to go through and trigger all those things, make sure you have all the signatures, because the I-9 they have to sign, the W-4 they have to sign. A lot of times you see them filled out and not signed. So make sure they're signed.
Right. Yeah, no, and we did an update, handed out the W-2s this year. I just made sure that everybody had an up-to-date W-4 version of it. And so I tried to get everyone to come to the new version of the W-4, because there were some older versions of W-4s in the employment files. And,
Yeah, so I'll tell you what'll end up happening. It does. I don't know what the percentage is, but it's a higher percentage of people that will have a little bit more taken out of their paycheck. The tax tables are definitely different with the newer W-4, because I just went through several iterations of that with current customers who have completed new W-2s, or 4s rather, new W-4s, and they, when I redid their payroll, like, oh, okay, there it goes. So there was some real clear evidence right in front of my face this week.
yeah,
Don't be surprised if people say, well, my paycheck's different. Yep. So
yeah, that happened with one of the employees as well, where the paycheck was slightly lower by going to the new W-4.
Yep.
I just advised her to tax professional and see if she would want to change any numbers on the, or depending on how the taxes work out for her for 2021.
exactly. Yep.
So I
That was great
gave her
advice.
that advice, and then hopefully if she's going to come back to me, then I don't think it was a substantial amount, but it was something that she said, oh, it's less.
Yep.
You know,
Yep, the
net
government's taking
payment's
it.
less. That's right. That's right. Well, I mean, you reconcile every year with your tax return anyway, right? So that's a reconciling event. So you're either going to get it back or going to pay more.
It's
People don't-
supposed, it's allegedly more accurate. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, people are adverse to wanting to pay at the end of the year to make up any
Nobody wants to
taxes that
get
are
that
short.
tax bill. Yeah, nobody likes
No.
to get that tax bill. I hated being the guy that delivered that years ago. Like, did your tax return. Not only do you owe money, you got to pay me, but you owe money. It was never
Yeah.
a fun time.
No, for sure. And I think you're allowed, if I'm wrong, if you get your taxes done in the US, you can claim as an expense on your income tax.
It cut out. Claim what?
When I hire UL to do my tax return for me, and you file my taxes for me X dollars for doing that tax return, I believe you can deduct that on your personal in the US. Is that correct?
Depends
or not?
on whether or not you have enough in itemized deductions. So, and I can't
Right.
even answer that anymore because even some of that's changed. I have never done a tax return with the new structure of the 1040.
Oh,
The-
right.
Jim right next door in our office, he's the tax guru on all that. And
Right.
that's where we send everybody. And
Okay,
well,
so it may
not
or
everybody,
may,
but 99% of everybody ends up going over to Jim for getting answers and that service, including me.
right. No, be an expert in everything. But it's, so it depends on kind of like what, I guess there's a basic amount that everybody gets to claim. And if your
Yep.
things don't add up to more than that amount, then you can't claim those individual amounts because
Right. You didn't
amount
meet
is
the
already
threshold.
covers all of that.
Right.
Sort of covers all that.
Yeah. That's exactly right. So it
Yeah.
sounds like you're ready to go into a tax business.
Well, I've, because my own personal situation being Canadian coming down here, I've had so many questions, done a ton of research on it because it's quite complicated, because we still have
Yeah.
in Canada, and when you have stuff in one country and two countries, it's complicated.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard enough to deal with just the little stuff, let alone
Yeah.
all of that international stuff. So
Mhm.
did that address your questions and your?
Yes, thank
good
you.
to-
That
Okay,
that
good.
is great. That's very helpful. Gets it clear for me. I can read the forms, but it's nice to have somebody else's opinion on the practical side of having done this for years. It's you can spend hours reading, and then in 2 minutes you can get the answer from somebody who has the experience like you do, Al. So that's appreciated.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
All right. So what's being made for lunch and dinner? I'm going to live vicariously at the moment.
Oh, lunch. What's being? Oh, you heard the microwave go off. My wife in the background was just warming up her tea or her coffee, I think, and avocado pudding type of dish this morning. Very, very healthy food.
Nice.
So yeah.
Had a
so
little
just finished
avocado
that.
toast myself, so
Oh yeah.
pretty darn good from up there.
Yeah. Lovely food.
Well, all right. Hopefully next week, we're going to see some more, some of the stuff will get wired up into the sandbox. So we'll be able to
Okay.
play with it a little bit and run through some more stuff. But we're definitely going to, that as we get closer, we're going to definitely see more of that with an opportunity to kind of tool around in it some.
Awesome.
So until then, don't
Okay.
forget, you can join us any morning you want for coffee if you're on the island. We're typically there.
All right. There every morning, somewhere around 8 o'clock or 1:45, you said?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And that goes
Watch for
anybody
another
watching.
opportunity. Pardon?
And I said that goes for anybody watching. If they want to stop
Yeah.
in, fly on
Yeah.
in, come on down.
Thanks for the invitation.
All right, you got it, Anthony. And then we'll move it right along and get ourselves going with the rest of the day. And this is all the previous episodes are now updated and on the site, and www.truepayroll.com/launch is where you can register and attend these and watch the previous ones. So awesome. With that, I will bid you adieu, because that's French, right? Right? You're Canadian stuff?
Adieu.
right?
Yeah.
Adieu,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or is that German?
Au revoir. You can say au revoir.
Or
until we-
adieu is German, isn't it? I'm getting my-
German?
I'm
No,
thinking
German.
of,
Zane. Oh, Wiedersehen is German.
oh, Wiedersehen, yeah, but don't they say it in Sound of Music? Adieu, 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 in the
Yeah, I
song?
think it's this words.
So, yeah, well,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna need to run myself because I've got a customer that we've made a mistake on, so I need to go fix that. Yep.
All right, Al, you have a great day. Nice chat.
All
Always nice
right.
chatting with you. Okay,
Thanks,
take care.
Anthony.
Have a great day.
Appreciate you.
Nice week.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.